Hey, hi all. Continuation to the C sharp data types. Now, today we talk about daytime practical session, like how we are going to use daytime data type and how to get all the daytime properties like day of month, time of year, week of month or week of year, and hours, minutes, seconds. So, as I told you already, like there are several properties inside of daytime property. Let's see that how they are working, right? It's practical session. Okay. So let's go back to my Visual Studio here and create some example. Like, if you look at here, I'm just defining, right? My date object, date time, right? Variable, new date time of. This is the current date. I'm just giving it. If you're not giving this, and when you're trying to print this, right? Current date time, right? When I say dt time semicolon, and I told you you need to give a dollar here. When I run this, you'll get the 0101 kind of. So this is the default date and the time the .NET is giving when you're not mentioning anything and using just datetime data type. Okay, so that's the reason I'm just trying to give some values here like year, right, month, and date and time, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. When you run this, you will get the given date time as a, right? What's happening? Something we missed. 099. Okay. Let me give some valid value here. So I think here we should give milliseconds, right? 1000 below 1000. Let me try this 200. Now let me try to run this and you will get the given values like 0101 2024 1030 30 seconds, right? So now I'm going to use different properties inside of this date time data type, right? Let us say console dot write line of, okay, in this case I'm printing day, right? I'm just using day. In here, I'm going to specify date time. That is my object I'm trying to use here is the variable is date dt time dot. Uh, the value is day, so that it will give you date value. Let me see. Just run this. I should get 01 as the date time. Okay. Let me run this and see that 1 is date. It is written, right? So today's day. Okay. Or think day in current date. Day in current date or date time. Okay. And similarly, I use it for month, right? Month in current date. I'll say month. And similarly, year, you can just use year and year in current date. And similarly, you print hour in current date time is similarly minutes. This is minutes, which is simple minute. Okay. And seconds, copy this, paste it. This is second. This is seconds I'm talking about. And similarly, milliseconds also you can fetch from this milliseconds. Now, last one Our last two are day of week, day of week, and day of year, day of year, and next one is time of day, right? Time of day. I think ticks also you can print. Ticks in current daytime is ticks, okay? And even kind, what kind of time and locality you are referring this data. Let me print this. Let me spin this console application. You see that unspecified. This is anyway like kind is not specified because I'm not using any localization here. Hence it is just displaying undefined and unspecified. That's okay. So day in current daytime is 1, month in current is 1, and year is this. Hours 10, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, Monday, and day of year is 1, day of year is, and time of day, right? This is the time I'm mentioning it here. And anyway, like this is the ticks in current daytime, this thing. And kind anyway, I'm not specifying. Okay, this is how the daytime variable is going to work, and you can use whatever property or whatever requirement you look for. You just prefer that particular property and get the required values. Okay, so when you want to just retrieve day and use it just day, and you want only year, just use year. When you want some time of day, just use time of day, or week, day of week, right? Let me change this to, right, some 09, right? And try to run this, and let's see how it is displaying. So this is what month actually displaying. Let me change. This is something 1, and I'll change this as 9/1/2024. When you run this, and you'll see that 9 is the day, right? This is 1 month. And looking at here, hours and everything is fine. Like looking at day of week, it is saying about Tuesday, because that whatever 9 is comes in as on Tuesday. And day is 9 again because ninth date of January, right? And time and takes everything is as usual. Okay. So it basically takes based on the system data formatting settings. This is right now it is referring as DDMMYY, and that's how it is formatting these values. And if you are changing your datetime, right, this will get changed. Okay. So going back to our running nodes, right, uh, here. So this is something daytime, right? Now let's see. I'm just pasting this program for a future purpose. Let me paste this. That's how I'm going to print all this daytime properties in program. Okay. Now I'm going to explain about char and string data types here, right? Let me format this, right? So what are all these char and string data types? One is comes under value type, and another thing is comes under reference type. Char data type, alias for system.char, which is used to represent single Unicode character. To represent more than one char, we are going to use string. That means group of characters if you want to store, you definitely go for string data type, which is basically just a list of characters. Okay. So a char data type is used to represent a single Unicode character. To represent group of characters, then we use a string data type. Example, char ch, which represents single character. If you want to store, right, group of characters, like I'm going to use string data type. Okay. So if you want to print this string variable, right, characters using loop, let me try this. For each of char c in str name, so that it will loop through all characters in the str, right, name, and it will read one by one character, right? And here I'm going to print ch. If you want to say this program diagrammatically, programmatically, then when you see here, let me go back to here. Let me comment this stuff. So, or let me remove this. I'm just defining char, right? Ch equal to single character. This is for single unique character. If you want to store a group of characters, I definitely use string data types. If you want to read through this, I'm going to use char ch and str name, and here I'm going to print console dot right line of ch. Okay, what is about this? Already fine. Okay, let me this. When you run this, it will print the BRR as BRR. This means it will read each character from this group of characters and print every time a new line. That's what the output it is coming here. Okay. So going back to notes here. So a string is a piece of text. It usually consists of more than one character. Since if it is just one, you should consider using character instead of string anyway. So strings are by default immutable. That means you can't change any value once you assign the value to the string variables, which basically means that once they are created, they can't be changed. That's why strings are immutable. Okay. Strings are immutable. What is immutable means here? Once value is assigned, okay, strings are immutable, which basically means that once they are created, right, they can't be changed. That's what these are immutable. Strings are immutable. Okay. So it's obviously not very practical in daily use because we have to change the strings, right? So when you want to change the strings, I think you have to use, right, string builder, right, or kind of concatenation stuff, something like that. So the frameworks basically, instead of having to keep declaring new strings to make changes, it simply creates new string for you each time you change existing one. So like, let me tell you, like I have a str title equal to hello world, right? I wanted to change the string. Okay. Then I'm going to say title equal to str title plus how are you? Okay. So what it is happening is it is created str title as a string type and it stored this particular string group of character. When again you are assigning, you are changing this string to something, adding some stuff. What it is doing is it will create one more instance and one more entry, right? It simply creates a new string for you each time you change the existing one. So now I'm changing this existing hello world to hello world, comma, how are you? When I'm trying to do this, right, it will simply create a new string for you each time, right? So that's where the problem is coming. Suppose if I wanted to assign some strings like more than something like string, right? Numbers. These are numbers I'm just wanted to assign by default empty. So for int I is 0, I less than equal to 100, I plus plus, right? When I say numbers, right, equal to numbers plus I dot toString. I'm just appending all this into numbers variable, and then I wanted to print out this complete concatenated strings, that is numbers. So in this case, what happens is 100 times it is creating, right, string every time. Loop through 100 times, each time appending the current index to the string with the knowledge you just gained. So you know that instead of altering, right? So the existing string to include the latest number, a new string is created and then assigned to the old variable. The existing string to include the latest number, every time it is creating a new string, leaving the old value be cleaned up by the framework. And this happens 100 times. Instead, it is generally recommended to use another data type called string builder. Okay, so strings are mutable, hence we may face some issues like when you have this kind of scenarios like appending multiple values, it usually creates every time new string and it removes old string value, which is a burden on the compiler, right? Instead of that, we'll prefer string builder. Okay, and the above happens, and the above happens 100 times. Instead, it is generally recommended to use, right, a so-called string builder. Okay, this is one more data type we have in C sharp, that is string builder. This is not going to create a string every time when you change the value. So that means string builder is a mutable series of characters that can be extended to store more characters if required. Okay, so string builder. So a string builder in C sharp, a string builder is a mutable is a mutable series of characters that can be extended to store more characters if required. So unlike with strings, modifying a string builder instance does not result in the creation of new instance in the memory. Okay. So unlike with the strings, modifying a string builder instance does not, right, result in the creation of a new instance in memory. Got it? It won't create new instance in memory, and it will only update or alter the existing instance. That's what the beauty of this string builder. Example, if you take the same example here, okay, I'm going to define this as string builder. Okay, the syntax is new string builder. Okay, so here we have a property called numbers dot add. This is just adding this string or append. Sorry, append. Okay, this will just alter the existing string, right, and then prints the resulted string. Okay, so this is the basic advantage of string builder compared to string data type. Okay, when we use string, it won't change the value. If you want to append or change the value, it will create every time a new string instance in memory, which will put some burden on the compiler, right? When it comes to here in the string builder, it won't do that. Instead, it will just modify the existing string. Okay. So if you want to do a practical session on this, you just go back here and define string numbers equal to new, sorry. So we'll demonstrate first a string builder, a string number, right? Numbers example, just semicolon, right? For int I is 0, I less than numbers, sorry, I less than 100, I plus plus numbers equal to numbers plus this toString, and after that you are printing here, which will definitely have burden because every time it is creating instance, and as a developer you can't see what is happening inside of it, but literally it takes some time to generate new string every time and clean up the old string, right? Instead, if you just use string builder in place, this is the string builder, right? New string builder, and here in this part just use append of I, and here just use toString. That's how it is happening. And when you run this, it will print same values, but it won't create, right, any new memory for this particular program. Okay. If you want to see that, I think you can see the stats. Sure, where exactly that is. Stats, analyze, build, suppress, run code analysis, clean up, code analysis. For solution, selected project, uh, metrics, console. I'm running this, just printing this way, and I'm not sure where it is displaying this stuff. Let's check this, close this. And I can see that maintainable index, say close some lines of code. There's something static code analysis, but not memory analysis anyway. Like how to do a memory analysis here. Try. That's different. I think we have here profiler, performance profiler, wherein you just need to use memory or CPU usage and just start. It is running, and in the background of this output, you can see like how it is allocating space to the program. Let me stop collection. I'm not sure like how exactly it is happening it, but the problem is using string builder, it won't create any new instance to your program here, and you append the string or alter the string. But when it comes to here, how to read, here, I think one thing is CPU time. It is something, okay. Let us go back and change this to string and see how it is looks like in this case. Let me do this. Relaunch performance profiler and see that how it is working. Closing this, stopping collection. Okay. Looks like it has taken so much of time if you look at here. Almost 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Because it requires some additional stuff to, clear and create new instance, something like that. System 32 console program main CPU time, something it is. It's okay. Here it is, something which is displaying the stuff. Okay. Anyway, this is a different subject. I think we talk about more on coming sessions. But only thing I'm trying to explain it here is right now, string builder will, uh, allow to modify the strings because it's a feature in C sharp to alter the string with the same variable. When it comes to string, I think it is every time creating a new instance and then keep on clean up with the old thing, which will keep burden on existing process. Okay. That's why strings are immutable and string builder is mutable series of characters that can be extended to store more characters if required, unlike with strings. Modifying string builder instance does not result in the creation of new instance in memory using string builder. Okay. Thanks for understanding. Thanks for listening to this video. And please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.